Beautiful singing choir. So we've been going through a series looking at who we truly are. And Cindy, first service was breaking the mold. Maybe we shouldn't fit in molds that people make for us. Let's create our own mold. And then David's talk on potential. And I thought was a really good tape was our potential is daily. We put it out there somewhere. Every day we just tap into our truth. Today is a realization of self. And that's a pretty good topic, realization of self. The mission statement that Cindy got from Spirit when we created InnerQuest 35 years ago, who knows, a long time. The journey of life is to know oneself. The path begins in the heart. The journey of life is to know oneself. The path begins in the heart. And that's where that guidance from the quiet mind came from. If we have any questions, to go within our heart. Within our heart resides the one who cares that Christ's light I am. So to begin to understand, life begins in the heart. So we need to go there first before we take a step. And too often, we don't do that enough. And man isn't really taught to do that too often either. So I want to read a little bit about the self from the Queer Gospel. And this is a spiritual teacher. His name's Elihu. And after Jesus was born, and the times were rocking and rolling, Mary, and then Elizabeth, Mary's cousin, and John the Baptist, they went to Egypt for 3 years, and they studied with these two teachers, Elihu and Salome. And it was really beautiful because the mothers were the ones raising these two young lights on the planet. So they had these master teachers that was teaching them, imparting them with all this vibrational wisdom so they could impart it to their sons. So one morning, again, Elihu met with his pupils in a sacred grove. No man lives unto himself, for every living thing is bound by cords to every other living thing. I think that's a pretty good understanding of self. And too often we separate from one another, we separate from life, we separate from God. No man lives unto himself, for every living thing is bound by cords to every living thing. Every living thing, to begin to understand our relationship with all of life, not just our brothers and sisters in the human vehicle, all of life. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will love and not demand love in return. Unconditional love. To give love but not demand love in return. I think Jesus was a perfect example of that. He was just unconditionally loving and accepting of everyone he met. Accepting of their choice. They will not do unto other men what they would not have other men do unto them. And that's that golden rule we love. But it really works for us when we put it into action first. And that's almost like a foundation stone. To realize that we are not alone, we are connected with all of life. And that love is that thread that connects us all of life. And then as we give forth our energy, we're going to give forth from that consciousness from within. And that's the law of as you give forth, you receive. So he goes on. There are two selves, the higher and the lower. The higher self is human spirit clothed with soul, made in the form of God. The lower self, the carnal self, the body of desires, is a reflection of the higher self distorted by the murky ethers of the flesh. You know, in our class, we really have fun with that. The murky ethers of the flesh, you say. And all that is it's a shade that's limiting our expression of our true light, our true love. And sometimes, and it is the body of desires. And when we move into a higher consciousness, that higher self, that one we got, we really don't have desires. We move into a state of being creator. what would I like to experience? And know that if we go into that consciousness connected with the Father within, we are the co-creators, sons and daughters of God, and we can have that. The lower self is an illusion and will pass away. The higher self is God and man and will not pass away. The lower self is an illusion. Have we ever heard the saying that this world is an illusion created by our thoughts? And it will pass away, and the higher self is that, the truth, I am spirit. And once again in our classes, the absolute truth is God is. The relative truth is it's always changing. The truth of who we think we are is always changing. But the essence of spirit is absolute. We are spirit. I think that Jesus was another the demonstration of his walk in life to show the transitory nature of life. He expressed God's love made manifest, but then when he left, to show that there was no death, and he would come, when he came back, they didn't recognize him. His essence, that Christed nature, Jesus the Christ, came through a different form that people didn't recognize at first until they started talking with him. They go, oh yeah. You see, this body is an illusion. It's going to pass away, but our spiritual nature is eternal. And once we begin to think in these terms, that's why I think Jesus the Christ was the greatest paradigm shifter, to shift us into the truth of who we really are. Okay? The higher self is the embodiment of truth. The lower self is truth reversed, and so is falsehood manifest. And the truth, we play with truth, and it can be very subtle, and falsehood can be very subtle also, because we like to rationalize life. But to begin to be true to self, do you see? Who, the true self, our divine nature, our spiritual beingness, to be true to that and allow that to guide us. To thine own self be true, and surely as the night follows the day, thou canst be false to no man. Because I am the truth and you're the truth. And when we come from here, we can experience that. Namaste. The higher self is justice, mercy, love, and right. The lower self is what the higher self is not. And so, get a little glimpse of maybe who we are and who we think we are. But metaphysically, we're a metaphysical Christian church, to begin to understand the understanding and the basic foundation of who we are. The basic foundation that we are spirit. This body is our vehicle. Our life is an experience to grow our capacity to love and to understand who we are even greater. We can say, hey, what's your job in life? Somebody says, hey, what's your job in life? My job in life is to learn how to love greater and really expand who I really want to be. And they'll go, what? Do you see how we can change our identity with a thought? And we create with thought in this dimension. So, chapter 8 in the Aquarian Gospel, two selves. And, we say we plan in duality. And duality is a great teacher. Duality is a great teacher. It's not bad. The experience of who we aren't can show us who we are. There's neither good nor bad. Thinking makes it so. Trusting God in the process of creating. So begin to, our true self, that human divine nature, begin to start trusting that. Trusting God in the process of creating. We are creating our life. We are all creating our own space. It's really interesting to look at that and think about that. But when we're gone, our space disappears. When you start dealing with our grandparents and people that begin to transit and move on, they can't hold that space any longer, and we get to disperse all the stuff. We create our own space. No one creates it for us. To begin to understand that. And so if we create our own space and understand that, what do I want my space to look like? How do I want to feel in my space? That's the truth of who we are. Our higher self, one with God, creating our space. So, two statements. I love Jesus. I was that. Okay. But two statements. Love God with your whole heart, mind, soul, and strength, and love your neighbor as yourself. That's all we're supposed to do. We don't have to do anything else. And yet we get busy doing a million things. So love God with your whole heart, mind, soul, and strength. Well, God's in everything. God is in everything. So shouldn't we love everything? That's what the commandment is. And love your neighbor as yourself. If God's within me, God's within my neighbor. Simple guidelines, a simple path to follow to begin to understand and know our true self. To know our own divinity. To be free in our divinity, to be that co-creator on planet Earth. So as we begin to create space to define ourself, connect with God first. Connect with God. God, the supreme being. Being creates. It began with a void. In the beginning is a void. A being. Being is before thought. Being was before will. Being, supreme being. And then let there be light to create with that intention, that will, whatever word we want to use for that. But supreme being, creator. We're a human being. Hughes in Latin means divine. Divine man being. So connect with God, supreme being, and have faith in God. Have faith in God and your higher self. Have faith in yourself. And those are all the promises. Ask and you shall receive. Ask knowing that you are a child of God, and you shall receive. Allow the inner to guide the outer. Allow the heart to be. That's what the divine dip was about. Getting that guidance from within. And allowing that inner guidance, the divinity within us, to begin to guide our outer manifestation. And within us is that knowing what's perfect for us, not for anybody else. We like to think we know what's good for other people. We don't. But we know what's good for us, and that's where we want to go. What would be good for me? Allow the inner to guide the outer. Allow the heart to be. And so many people walk around with their hearts covered up. Walled. Afraid. Don't want to be hurt. Don't want to share. Don't want to even receive. To begin to open up. Let all those lower definitions and constructs go to allow that flow. Flow. Receiving, giving, receiving, giving. That's our true nature. Our true nature isn't selfish. It's selfless. Our true nature is unconditional love. It's not selfish love. It's not conditional. When we allow our heart to be true self. What we call self is a construct of our mind. And it's always changing. That's that relative truth, okay? Labels, our name, Hey, what's your name? Who are you? What's your age? What gender are you? What are your opinions? We can go on from these we construct our world with these thoughts. Most of them come from the outer. Race consciousness, our collective consciousness of all our lifetimes, and humanities as well. To go within now, to go within our heart. The path begins in the heart. Allow that. That's the absolute. That isn't changing. Relative truth, we can love somebody one day and be mad at them the next. The absolute truth is we can love them all the time. It's easy to love those who love you. Try it with ones that don't love you. That's our walk. That's our duality. That's our teacher. That's our teacher. And what keeps us from loving is our head. They did this. They don't deserve. You see? It's not coming from our heart. Accepting, accepting, accepting. Duality is a teacher. Understand we're in class. And do the best you can. How's that? But see, like with our construct, our definitions of who we are and everything, is to begin to go deeper now. And that's metta, beyond the physical. Go beyond how you see yourself. Go beyond how you see others. Go beyond what you see or think life is all about. Ask to see beyond. Ask to see beyond. And I know you've all asked this, like, what's really happening here? Like, here's this crazy chaos going on. God, what's really happening here? Because this is an effect of a thought construct. What's really happening here? Ask to see the beyond. Ask to feel. Here's a good one. It's a good guide. Ask to feel. Where's the love here? Where's the love here? And sometimes when we ask that question, the love's not there. I'm getting out of here, you see. Because we're creating our space, aren't we? And we're going to allow people to create their own space. So we can't judge, we can choose. What vibration do I want to live in? Love, fear. Love, anger. Love, judgment. We're creating our space. We're beings. When we're not holding our space, it transmutes and someone else gets a chance. Ask the who, what, where, and whys. Who, what, where, and whys of our experiences. Why is this happening? What am I learning? Why am I choosing this? Go deeper. We're programmed. We're programmed to stay on this surface level of experience when metaphysically we know that that is an effect of the causal realm. So to really begin to grow and expand our consciousness and understand love, we've got to go to the causal realm, the higher realm, which is God's love. Ask to see the whys, hows, the whats of ourself and others. Asking questions. Inquiry is a way to make sure we're staying in touch with life and our relationship with life. You see? If we're just on that surface level, for the most part, we're not going to have a relationship with life. We're going to have a relationship with our mind. So when we ask those questions, to see beyond, why is this happening? Why am I choosing this? To go beyond another, now we can connect on that higher level, the true level of who we are. And patience is the key. Patience is the key. And all of us have or are still having or had classes in patience on this school of earth, haven't we? And what's cool is our answers come through awareness. It's not black and white, because it's different for each one of us. Awareness, to expand our awareness. Expand our awareness. 10 people see the same thing happening, you got 10 stories. Because it goes through the filter of awareness, our unique awareness. The answer comes through awareness. When we stop trying to be somebody and just experience being, we move beyond our thought process, our construct of self. When we stop trying to be somebody, and we were pretty much all of us taught to be somebody or something, instead of being asked, what do you want to be? It's changing, it's so beautiful now. The parents and expanded awareness and consciousness and stuff, the relationship with children is beautiful, 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 because there is a conversation, there is dialogue, there is listening to the children. And I know some of the people with kids, and we got our grandkids, so we're vicariously parents. How's that? No, but it's so beautiful because you can, when you talk with them, they have consciousness. They're not just these little things. And they're a beautiful gift, a beautiful gift. And we can really tap into that gift. And then just by us opening up to them, that helps them open up. And then when they open up to us, that opens us up even more. And pretty soon our jaw starts dropping because the experience that we have with children is awe-inspiring. But we've created all these constructs of life and identity and shoulds and it's got to be and all that stuff. And that's all from here. And so we go into our heart. Go into our heart. The path begins in our heart. So make that foundation, the foundation, love, accepting love, unconditional love. If we come from there, no matter what experience that we choose, and we're choosing these experiences, people, we can not accept that, but we are, that's when we go, what do I need to see here? What do I need to learn here instead of blaming somebody? You see? The old paradigm, blame, victimhood, out there. What do I need to see? Or what do I need to learn in this class? What do I need to learn, see, be? That's our understanding of our true self, of why we're here. And that's why, we come here, or people say, we need to ask ourselves, here's that, erase all that. We need to ask ourselves, what's my job here on planet Earth? You see, what's my job here on planet Earth? Now, our number one job is to understand love, expand our love and awareness and stuff like that. And however, we take that awareness now, we take that true self, our higher self, we take our higher self into our career, our jobs, our life, you see? And then the phrase is, take no thought. Take no thought. Yeah. I'm going to go here. I'm going to live here. I'm going to live from here. We have within us all that we need. We have within us all that we need. One more time. We have within us all that we need. We just have to trust it. Trust yourself. Trust yourself. And I know everybody in here who sometimes in some experience just let go of the outer and trusted themselves. I'm done listening to people or knee-jerking or whatever. I'm going to trust myself. Things start coming down. Get clearer. We get our guidance. Trusting ourselves. Trusting the inner to guide the outer, trusting the inner to lead us in the outer. So we let go of that construct of self from our mind, and we move into our higher self, Okay? We move into our higher self, being human. There's always a human being human. And I'm not even going to say the cliche statement, which you all can say right now in your mind, but being human, you see? Being human. Here's this human vehicle that I have created, and it's going to take me through all the experiences that I'm choosing in my life so that I can expand my capacity to love, understand love, my consciousness to be greater in my oneness with divinity. Being human. Being creator. So I'm creating my human space. I'm creating my human space. And what we need to do first is love our human space and love ourselves. You see? It's the judgments that the outer give us that say you're not good enough. Why are you doing that? You never make it. No. Love ourselves. If we get guidance to do something, it's coming from within. Trust the within. Trust God within to guide the steps to take in the outer. And you know what? Our higher self being human, and once we kind of make that shift, we start taking stuff less personally. So we're up here, we're personal. You see what I'm saying? Because people are supposed to act a certain way and we're supposed to receive a certain way. Once we move here into that unconditional nature of life, we've all certainly did things that people didn't agree with. And people certainly do things we don't agree with. Big deal. Unconditional love. Don't take it personally. Don't take it personally. Your personality is a construct of your mind. It's not who you are. It's a program to navigate this dimension. Trust the divine presence. Trust your true self, your higher self. Trust your oneness with God, and trust your heart. And that's what the first part of chapter 8 was all about. We are one. We're connected with God. And our true nature is love. That's the truth I am. Trust that. Trust that. Trust the present moment. Trust the present moment because there's a blessing in the present moment for us. You see? We created our space and we created this experience in our space. And it's for us. Don't run away. Don't judge. Go a little deeper. Trust the present moment. It's part of the eternal now. Keeps us in the flow. It's our blessing. Stand firm in who you are. Okay, this is who I am. Know who we are. I am. I am. Like Patrick, say, when I say, I'm a son of God, in all humility, because to the outer and to the mind, but I'm standing firm that I'm a son of God. And I'm standing firm in knowing that God within me has all the answers. And if I stand firm and I am the Son of God, as I'm walking through life, the experience that I'm creating is getting me to the end to be that Son of God. It's the walk of life. So to begin to put it out there and then stand on that truth. And when things happen, you will amaze yourself with what you say or what you do. And I know some of you have been talking with something and whatever, and you go, did I say that? In your mind, did I say that? That was profound, you say. And that came from our heart. It didn't come from our head. Stand firm in that which you are. You are the beloved sons and daughters of God. I can see it in every one of you. And as we go forth this week to stand, that's my truth. That's my truth. And then trust in the guidance you get within. God's love made manifest as life. God's love made manifest as life. Let's go within. And as you close your eyes, just breathe. And as you breathe, I want you to just ask to feel God's love. I ask to feel your love, Father. So just breathe. I ask to feel your love. I breathe God's love. God's love is filling me now. I feel it. So just breathe. I breathe God's love. God's love is filling me now. I feel it. And just breathe and take your awareness to your body. And just feel. Feel what you feel, how you feel. But ask. I ask to feel your love, Father. And just breathe. I ask to feel your love, Father. And just let the essence of God's love wave through your body to move out the thoughts, beliefs, and the patterns that do not serve you as a son of God or daughter of God, as you create your space. I breathe God's love. God's love is filling me now. I know it. I feel it. And I am grateful. I breathe God's love. God's love is filling me now. I know it. I feel it. And I am grateful. And I thank God, my Father, I can accomplish all things. And just breathe and allow that statement to anchor within your heart, to reverberate out into your world. I thank God, my Father, I can accomplish all things. Breathe and feel. Breathe and know. You are the beloved of our Heavenly Father. Breathe and feel. Gently open your eyes. To allow that love of God, which is beyond words, to flow through us, to create that wave on which we flow through life. The path begins in the heart. Within our heart, we'll find a path revealing life's mystery. And the secret that isn't a secret, what's good for the whole is good for me. And they all said, "Yay, God!"